In today's video, I'm going to answer the top 5 questions that my mentees and MBA aspirants have asked me in the past. Hi everyone, welcome to Insider Gyan. My name is Somi. I'm an IIT Delhi and ISB Hyderabad grad. For the last 9 years, I've been working in banking and consulting, and on this channel, I share my journey, my mistakes, my experiences, as well as journeys of some of my friends, so that you guys can take something away from it and not repeat the same mistakes as we did. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing to the channel. Now, I've been running a mentorship program for the last 1 year, and most of the consultations that students have booked with me have been related to MBA. So in today's video, I wanted to answer the top 5 questions that I keep getting again and again and again. Okay, so the first question is whether or not to do MBA from a financial perspective, whether they'll regret taking a huge loan on themselves and not be able to repay it, especially if someone is not from a very good financial background. And I get the doubt, because let's face it, MBA programs are really expensive. In India, it's north of 20 lakhs from a good business school, and if you do it from outside India, it's north of 1 crore. So not a lot of us can afford it. Now, my answer to that is I have done a lot of calculations on MBA return on investment, and if you do your MBA from a tier 1 institute, then definitely the ROI is going to be greater than 1. You are essentially going to be increasing your net worth by doing an MBA in 90% of the cases. Unless, of course, you get a package of say 50 lakhs right out of your engineering college or your undergrad college, which for most of us it doesn't happen, right? So usually MBA is a great financial decision, but only if you do it from a tier 1 institute. If you are from a tier 1 business school, then the strong brand is always going to stick to you, and you don't need to worry about getting a job. Once you get a job, average package from the tier 1 institutes are usually about 25 lakhs per annum. You will be able to pay off your loan in say 5 to 10 years, somewhere in between that. The second thing is people who don't have a very strong financial background. Now, if you have financial liabilities like taking care of your family or something, then of course you need to plan a little bit. Like you need to gather a corpus and put it on investment so that the returns that it generates is able to sustain your family for that short period of 1 to 2 years. But don't worry about paying your MBA fees from whatever corpus you have, whatever money you have earned, because if you have gotten an admission into a tier 1 business school, banks will be dying to give you a loan. Okay, getting a loan is not going to be an issue, and once you get a job after tier 1 school, you can pay your loan off. With that, let's move to the second question. And the second question is, a lot of people, like a lot of mentees that I've had in the last few months, have been people with very high number of years of work ex, like 7 years or so, and somehow everyone wants to change their field and get into consulting. Now, firstly, MBA is a great option if you have to slightly change your field, but do keep in mind that the more years of work experience you have, you sort of are tagged as an experienced professional in that domain, and to drastically change your field even after MBA might be slightly tricky. It's not impossible, but it's definitely going to be a little tricky. For example, maybe a person who has been a software developer, very strong knowledge of product development, those kind of people can go into a product management role. But if you are from an IT background and you drastically want to go into finance, which company in the finance field is going to take you at such a senior position, right? So you might not be shortlisted in those fields unless it's an absolutely entry-level field, which will mean that you will not get any benefit of your 7 years of work ex. The other thing is about people wanting to move to consulting from any other field. Now, what happens in consulting is a very freshers driven industry. From the campuses, they usually hire as a consultant or an analyst. So वैसे तो most of the consulting companies will have a cap of say 3 to 5 years, beyond which they don't consider people. But again, if you have 7 years of work ex, you will have to start from scratch in a consulting field. Are you really ready for it? One of the paths for you could be to get some work ex in another specific industry industry and join a consulting firm as a subject matter expert or a lateral hire, say 1 or 2 years after you have done your MBA. So your strategy as an experienced professional, if you drastically want to change your field or if you want to go into consulting, needs to be slightly different. Before moving to the next 3 questions, let me talk a little bit about the mini course that I was talking about earlier. The course is called the MBA Matchmaking Blueprint, and if you are an MBA aspirant and confused about whether you should be doing an MBA or not, or when you should be doing an MBA, where you should be doing an MBA from, or basically planning your whole MBA journey, then this mini course is exactly the one for you. Please note that you may not find anything like this anywhere else in the internet, okay? Not through free videos, nothing, because this is based on my personal experiences and on-ground realities of being an ISB alum, hiring MBA grads, mentoring MBA aspirants, interviewing incoming ISB graduates, so on and so forth. Now, what is this course about? By the end of this course, you will have full clarity on 4 things. One is whether you should be doing an MBA or not at all based on your career aspirations. Second is, if yes, then when is the right time for you to do an MBA? Third, which school is the right one for you based on your life choices, your career aspirations. And lastly, you will get to know whether or not MBA is a good financial decision for you or not based on some ROI Excel sheet calculations. Throughout the course, I have shared very easy to use frameworks that you can just pick and apply to your life. So you might be having different career choices, different life choices, and you might be different life stage as well. You might be a fresher or an experienced professional. So these frameworks are complete frameworks which you can just pick up, apply it on your life, and get the answers for you yourself, like get the customized answers for you yourself. All the details are going to be there in the description box and in the first comment. And the first 10 people who are signing up for this course are also going to get a group coaching via Zoom with me. Yeah, just go and check it out. Now let's move on to the other 3 questions. The third question is, I want to start a business or a venture of my own. Do I need an MBA? If you are someone who already has a very solid idea, then my answer would be definitely don't go for an MBA and increase your financial liability, because the kind of learning that you are going to get by actually running your business and actually going through the startup, the on-ground learning, it's going to be much more valuable than any kind of classroom learning. So yeah, an MBA is absolutely not required for starting your own venture. In fact, all it's going to do is just increase your financial liability. You are better off investing that money into your startup rather than an MBA degree at this point. Fourth question is again from the senior folks. A lot of people ask me, should I go for an executive MBA or a normal MBA, like a flagship MBA? Okay. Now, once you get a little senior, there are 3 types of MBA options that you have. One is an executive MBA, which is for senior professionals anyway. The second is the normal flagship programs, flagship MBA programs. And the third is international MBA programs. I would say that if you're a senior professional and you have to choose between option 1 and 2, always go for option 2, because a flagship program still gets the best candidates. But at the same time, don't opt for an IIM, because IIMs are still very, very freshers driven, okay? So as someone with 7 years of work ex, if you go to the flagship program of IIM, you may not have a lot of job options to choose from, but you can definitely consider flagship programs of colleges like ISB, where the average number of years of work ex is much higher. And of course, going for a flagship program outside India is always an option. Really depends if you want to settle abroad and if you want to have a lifestyle outside India, then that's an option. That's a very good option for you as well. And then the last question, a lot of students have asked me is, what is really the difference between a 1-year program and a 2-year program? Which one they should choose? Is there a difference at all? Curriculum wise, there's not really a lot of difference between the two. Only thing about the 1-year program is that a lot of things are jam-packed into that 1 year. Firstly, there are no internships, and secondly, it gives you less time to absorb the knowledge. So you need a little bit of maturity in terms of your career career planning to get a hang of all that is going on around you. Which is again the reason why one-year programs like ISB would usually have a work experience gap, because if a fresher lands up at ISB, they'll not be able to get a very good experience. They'll just be lost. And since it's a one-year program, you will get less time to explore different career options as well, versus a two-year program where you have 2 years. So, you can take some finance courses, you can take more marketing courses, you can do projects, internships across different fields and explore, figure out for yourself which is the one that suits you better. Other than that, there's not largely a difference in terms of the roles that come in there for hiring or in terms of curriculum or the education experience that they give you. So those are all the 5 questions that I'm going to answer in today's video. If you have more questions, send me an email, and definitely a gentle reminder to check out the MBA Matchmaking Blueprint course. There are 6 modules, there are different videos and frameworks for freshers, for experienced professionals. If you have any questions, drop me an email at hello@insidergyan.com, and I'm going to see you very, very soon in the next video. Till then, bye.